All right, so we're on to lesson 10. Only two more lessons to go before we're done with Avid Media Composer 101. We're going to talk about the title tool. Now, a lot of you guys have been using Avid using Marquee. I did that on purpose because I wanted you guys to get used to using Marquee. But something that you probably never knew was Avid has a simple title tool. And it's great for creating just quick, simple titles or simple graphics. Marquee is more advanced, and I always wanted to give students a chance to use more advanced graphics. But today we're going to talk about just the title tool. Okay, so you can find the title tool by going up to Tools and then down to the title tool application. There's actually a few ways to get to it. You can do title tool application. You can go to Clip, New Title. And I believe you can right-click and go to New, and or let's see, no, I guess you can't do a right-click. So just Clip, New Title, or Tools and Title Tool Application. So let's click on that real quick. When you click on that, it should bring up this little window that says Marquee, Title Tool, or Title or Pro. We don't have Title or Pro. Marquee we've been using. So what we're going to do is click on the title tool and just take a look at this little neat little graphics tool that you have. Title tool instantly comes up with the frame that your video is currently paused on. So you can see how I'm stuck on this guy. We'll call him John Smith. You can see how, and if I move my, move my bar, okay, and then click on my title tool, see how it changes. All right, so it's a great way to kind of position your graphics according to the frame or the video that you're going to create graphics for. A couple of things just to get you familiar with the title tool window. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. Very simple. You have your selection tool here, your text tool here, so you can text. Type whatever you want. So just call him John Smith. By clicking on the selection tool, allows you to move your graphic around wherever you want it. You can change your font, all different types of fonts that you can pick from. So whichever one you feel you would like to use, I'll just stick with this one. Your selection area, you can see how John Smith went. The Smith went below John. Just by increasing your title area, you can bring the Smith back up. So you can make it as big or as small as you'd like. I can make my font bigger. This is my font size right here. If I wanted to make it bigger, I can just click on that. Or I can just type something in if I want to be a little bit more specific. Right here is our justifications down here. So here's left, center, and right justification. We'll just click it on left for right now. Different types of, you can save. If you have a certain type of style that you like, you can actually save it if you would like to. Different styles. This would be your style menu if you saved a certain style. I can do a crawl or a roll if I choose to. This right here is my shadow depth. So what I do is I just click on this and I can pull the shadow out. And you can see how it coincides with the text up here. I can move the shadow around any place that I would like. I was always a fan of lower right-hand corner, and just having it peek out just a little bit was always how I liked doing shadows. Okay, this right here is your shadow depth. So you can click on that to make your shadow solid if you would like. Okay, you can do something like that. I'm actually going to bring it back to where it was. Bring it back down here. A couple other tools. Down here is my border. I can click on this to make a border if I want to put a border around my font. Border size. If I want to make an arrow, I can make an arrow. Right here. I could do a different type of arrow if I chose. This is a background. If I wanted just a solid background color, I can click on that and make my background any color I would like. All right. You can even use an eyedropper. Say if I wanted to make it a certain type of color. Okay. I can do that. But we're going to keep it as a video. Right here allows you to kern your font. So say if I wanted to put some spacing in between my font letters, that's called kerning. So I could do that if I choose to. All right. Same thing with lead. Okay. If I wanted to have some lead right here, I can make it italic. I can make it bold. And again, it's very basic, very simple. Up here is your color. If you wanted to change the color of your font, say if I wanted to make it red. Say if I wanted to make the shadow, I can change the shadow color. So we'll make that white. And I can even change the border color. If I wanted to change the border color, I can make the border color white as well. Okay? The farther over you go, the next box is your opacity. So say I wanted to make it a little transparent. Okay? I can adjust my opacity as needed. Okay? And then this right here allows you to color ramp if you wanted to color ramp. So it allows you to, it could be full on one side and then fades into transparency, and you can move that around as needed down here. Okay? So those are some quick little things that you can do in Title Tool. It's quick and simple. Sometimes if you do need a simple little graphic, this is a great tool to use. A few other things real quick. This is a square tool. So say if I wanted to make a background for John Smith, I could do a square tool and just draw that and say we'll make this, I don't know, we'll make it yellow, make it nice and really ugly. I can position this where I want, but notice how the square tool is on top of the John Smith. I want to put it behind the John Smith layer. So what I'm going to do is go up to Object, and I'm going to hit Send to Back. By doing that, it puts it behind the John Smith, and now I can make my John Smith punch out a little bit more. Okay, and you can do anything you want with the square. I can put a drop shadow on it. I can change the color of the drop shadow. Everything that you can do with your font, you can do with your shapes. Same thing with circles. If you wanted to, for whatever reason, make a circle. Okay. And also lines, you can make lines as well. Remember, I clicked on the arrow tool, so if I wanted to make a line, all right, that pointed to, say, his eye, I could do that. So quick and simple. The title tool has a lot of great features to it if you want to make quick, simple titles. When we get into the next, the MC110, we'll talk more about the marquee and really go in depth with it and show you what really the power that marquee has when it comes to creating titles. Finally, to save your title, I'm just going to go to Save Title, give it a label, call it John Smith, and there's my title. Okay, saves it as a, where it goes right into your bin right here. I'm just going to create another video track, and we'll just edit our title in. And there is our title. Okay, so that is quick titles. All right. Another quick thing that you can do that I wanted to talk about before I wrap it up is you can actually change this. So say I didn't want the circle, say I didn't want the arrow. I can change my graphic without having to recreate a whole new graphic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to position my indicator bar right on my title. I'm going to right click, going to go to Add Edit Title. By doing that, it brings up my graphic. Okay? So say I don't want this circle, we'll delete that. And I don't want this arrow, I'll delete that. Now you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, I can still see it. Well, you can't see it because what you're doing is you're seeing the title on the video behind you. Okay? So when you X out of this, those circles and that arrow will disappear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, I'm going to hit Save, and then magically change it over to my new lower third. Okay? And what it does over in your bin is it actually saves both versions. Okay? That is it for the title tool. If you have any questions, you can always ask in class. But we'll be moving on to lesson 11 and the final lesson in this book. Leon out.